I'm Jason, one of the instructors at Krav Maga Self-Defense. As part of our weapon series, we'll now look at the knife or short bladed weapons, right? So, doesn't give you, compared to the stick, doesn't give you much range. Very short, just, yep, some of the knives that you can conceal or although they're prohibited, the flick knives, will probably give you about a little bit over a palm length, palm of the hand length blade reach advantage. But what makes them so dangerous is they're sharp, they're bladed. So it's not a blunt force or impact weapon now. Now it's sort of like a wounding, stabbing, puncturing, a wounding, puncturing, slashing type of weapon. And of course, the most dangerous, arguably probably one of the most dangerous injuries you can get from a knife attack, is that stab or puncture into the main body where you start bleeding out. So I I think it's correct. Someone told me we only have 4.5 liters of blood in our bodies, and once we lose 2 liters out of that 4.5, we'll get into shock, and then start dying after that because we've run out of blood. So this is more short range then compared to the stick, but like the stick, the same sort of patterns of attack, right? You have the slashing. It can be diagonal slashing, horizontal slashing, low horizontal, vertical. And then there's the stabbing one. You can stab up high, right? Low, upward, up, downward, sort of stabbing. There are other martial arts would have all these more complicated type of attacks, um, all those little attacks, but it's pretty much those axes that you'll see, like that cross, that top to bottom, side to side, that diagonal, and then stabbing in the middle or stabbing all those different directions from that pattern. So we mentioned before, distance is your friend, and against a knife with the stick, short distance is your friend because you want to burst in nice and close to get away from that farthest end of the stick and to cause less force. Opposite with the knife. Ultimately, if there is distance between you and someone wielding a knife, then they'll have to chase you down or really find a way to come close to you to be able to do damage to you. So, of course, if you can run away or get away or have distance or obstacles between you and whoever the knife wielder, then that will really help you. Uh, in that case as well, since it's very short, um, you have to do some sort of force on force, or pretty much treating like an unarmed attack, right? So like that straight stab is going to be similar to deflecting a punch. With the slashing, we have our frames, our 360 defenses, and of course, because of the danger of the situation, um, you're gonna have to really counterattack as soon as possible. As soon as possible, like what others say, you hear this on the internet, hit the computer, um, and just continue counterattacking until you disarm them or they drop the knife, pretty much. Uh, yeah, so in um, in some scenarios, that's why we also like to do a lot of our sort of prominent defenses, prominent arm defenses, especially like cliche, sounds cliche out in the street, right? Because since it's small, This is small. It's hard to detect. The heat of the moment, you're under stress, there's a lot of tension, adrenaline, everything's happening. So there's all these stressors happening around. You know, you won't be able to really, unless you're used to it, you won't be able to identify if someone has a weapon. So you have these wild swing attacks that you think is just a wild king hit type thing, but you won't know that they have a knife. Like this angle, hopefully the camera gets it. Like this, right? Side view, you see a little bit, but from the front, it just looks like I'm gonna hit you with a hammer fist, but I'm actually holding something there. So from the different angles of perspectives, it's hard to see, identify. So out there, more like a reality-based sort of survival type of scenario, we definitely want the outward arm defenses, force on force defenses. Um, in other scenarios, let's say we're training, sparring, etc., then we can go a little bit more of the other ring fighting styles, right? Where you can cover up, you can do active shielding when some punches are coming in, because you know it's an unarmed sort of scenario. Or maybe out there, if you know it is depending on the factors, you know it's an unarmed scenario, then you can do those techniques. But against the knife, or presumably in a fight out there, you have to presume that they will produce a blade of sorts, and we can't just assume that they won't, or people will fight fair or will be honorable, right? Uh, yeah. So this one, of course, number one, distance is also your friend, but in this case, long distance is your friend. To train more KMG self-defense techniques, train with us at KravMaga selfdefense.com.au.